Good morning. Certainly a pleasure to be back here in Grand Island. Wanted to make a couple of comments before we go in and we rework these top 10 in our senior division. Got a really big division, and so from a judge's standpoint, got to do things a little bit differently than maybe you do at a county fair, jackpot, or state fair, where we've got several classes within a division, and there's 10 to 15 to 20 kids in the class. We've just got one big senior division, and so I want to make a couple of comments before we excuse those along the rail. But I think you all did a really good job with a lot of the fundamental things as far as body positioning and eye contact, and knowing where I'm at. The things that maybe knocked you out of that top 10 today, a little bit of that head gate, and where we have that head position is we're on the move, is what I'm referring to. When we're on the move, I think that's where you get the truest evaluation of livestock. So that's really important to me. I think that's one of the things that sorts this top 10 over here that we're going to rework, is that these young folks probably had a little bit better ease of motion with their animal. Their body position was correct as far as being right behind that front shoulder, allowing them to go to kind of drive and move ahead of them without having to be in front of them and pull on them really a whole lot. And then just getting those feet set and the head up and getting the goat collected in terms of its lines and balance, making it look as good as it can on a profile standpoint. I think some of those small differences sort our top 10 off of here. Please put your hands together and congratulate our young folks and say, excuse our round.
Congratulations to our senior showmanship participants. In our junior ABGA skillathon is currently being held in the office. At the conclusion of today's showmanship events and public speaking and skillathon competitions, we will have a lunch break at noon. At 1 p.m. we'll resume with the market show, the meat goat evaluation, followed by the commercial dough show. From 3 to 6 p.m. today, there will be a junior ABGA sales top competition. Rounding out our events tonight at 6 p.m., Sullivan Supply fitting demonstration after the conclusion of the show. The finalists of our senior showmanship division. One quick announcement. Meet goat evaluation participants, please turn your record books into the office prior to the show. The record book evaluation will begin directly after the show. That's meet goat evaluation participants, please turn in your record books into the office. from 8 o'clock till noon today, our junior ABGA Still-a-thon is currently open in the ABG office. Our public speaking will be held in the Sheep Barn, that is the next building here to the north. The junior and intermediate divisions of the public speaking will be held in the east end in the office. The seniors will participate in that public speaking event in the parlor, which is both on the east end of that building. As from 8 till noon today, our junior ABGA public speaking, junior and intermediate division in the east end and the Sheep Barn office, and the seniors will be held in the parlor across from that.
What a way to start it off, and my confidence to all these senior exhibitors, not only the ones that are out here in the top 10, but also several really good showmen that we excused back to the pins already. You get into showmanship at this level, and some of it is going to come down to personal preference. And so I think to me, the young man really exudes the kind of showmanship ability that I prefer. To make it very simple, he takes something really, really difficult and makes it look easy. That's how I can best describe him, because he's calm, he's cool, he's collected. His body positioning is elite. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what goat I'm looking at, what I'm having them do. He kind of anticipates my movements, knows where I'm going to, and so he positions himself relative to his goat according to where I'm going to be. And every time I look up, he's already ready for me. He's got the goat set out on the corners, he's got her head up, and he is positioned correctly to let me either see the front end or a 3/4 view, or he's starting to get just a little bit of a brace out of her so that I can see the muscle pop in her. And I just think he does a really good job of always being aware of where I'm at, working exceptionally well with his goat, his line positioning, his posture, as I said, really just does a phenomenal job start to finish. Young lady that comes in second, in case it's going to keep you up at night, loosening your goat there had nothing to do with where you end up placing. I already had you placed in my mind, and you ended up in the same place there. I want to compliment you on your reaction. Goats, steers, lambs, anything that we have a hold of in the show ring will eventually get away from you. And it's how you handle that and stay calm and collected, and you don't throw your chain down and pout and start crying in the corner. You grabbed your goat, you got back in line, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. And beyond that, I think you do a tremendous job of being calm and cool collected throughout the entire class. I want to compliment you when I had you lined up side by side to start off with, and I start working my way down the line. The thing that every kid wants to do, because mom and dad is pulling back the pin, is, and when the judge comes around front, Billy, I want you to just switch sides and around in front of the judge as soon as the judge gets past you. That's in essence correct, but when you get to this level of intermediate and senior, that judge is coming down in front of the line to look at their shoulder and their base width at the front end, the bone work in terms of front legs, and so you want to let that judge have a look. And then when he has moved past you and he gets to the next goat, that's when you calmly move around the front end. And she did that exceptionally well, probably better than anybody else. Waited, let me have my look, lets me get to 1 or 2 goats down the line, and then moves around the front. And that's a really hard thing to coach and teach your showman to do. That's just something that comes with age and experience, and you do that really well. And that's just kind of a small example of how you work throughout the entire class, working exceptionally well with that animal, always knowing where you're supposed to be and positioning yourself accordingly. Great job out of you, young lady. Young man that comes in third, I think does as good a job as anybody on the move. And so for some judges, it's going to be just a little bit slow. It's always easier to speed up a showman than it is to slow him down. And I think that's one of those things that we start to get away with when we're moving in the line and we just kind of fall in line here behind a couple of goats that are walking well and just prance right along and keep going, keep going, keep going. When he gets out on his own, and I have him put a little bit of space in between there, he still moves at a nice, easy pace. Nobody's going to speed him up too much. He's got a great head carriage to that goat. Does that really well, keeping that goat's head coming out of the top side of its shoulder, its neck and forearm in line, and then that allows it to have its head up and move at a nice, easy pace. He does that on the move as well as anybody in the class. But to me, when we get on the stand is where he struggles a little bit. Goat wants to prance, and he's got to move around just a little bit more than the top 2 in this class. But again, I think the showman does as good as anybody on the move. Young lady in 4, I think we've got the opposite kind of a situation here. When she gets that one stuck, she's got her feet out on the corners, she's got the neck and head coming up out of the top side of her shoulder like it's supposed to, and she sticks that one as good as anybody in the class. The problem is when we get them on the move, that one wants to come apart just a little bit. Doesn't want to work with her quite as well as a couple of the goats at the top of the class, but at the stand, I think does just a tremendous job, and that's a big chunk of showmanship out here. Young lady that comes in next, I think very much in that same vein. She maybe doesn't get quite as much pop out of that goat when I'm coming down and checking the handle compared to the top end of this class. But again, I think does a really good job at the stand. Maybe want to smooth her up on the move just a little bit, get a little bit more of a brace out of that animal. Young lady that comes next, again, one that does really well on the stand with a big doe, and she really gets into her, makes her look really good at the stand. And how I can tell that is because that doe doesn't look nearly as good on the move as she does at the stand, and that's because the young lady gets her knee into her, gets it right into that chest, and gets the most out of that doe at the stand. And then when she gets on the move, she starts to come apart a little bit, wants to throw her head around. Small differences sorting this top 6 or 7 here, but I think another young lady that does a great job at the stand. Young man that comes next here, we switch back to those young people that are really good on the move, maybe struggle to make that doe look quite as balanced at the stand as a couple of the others out here. That's a bigger doe and maybe gets just a little bit awkward with her head and where he wants to put it relative to his hip. If we can just smooth him up a little bit on the stand, I think he does a really good job on the move. Young man that comes next, one that really caught my eye at the beginning when we bring him in here, he's another that moves in a nice, easy gait, doesn't get in too much of a hurry, really like that doe on the move. want to maybe smooth him up and get him to pop those top up when we're at the stand. Since this is a commercial slash weather type showmanship, we really want to get those tops up and so maybe work with her on the stand a little bit more, but I really like him on the move. Young lady that comes next, love your body posture, your positioning around the goat. I think you do a tremendous job both at the stand and on the move of being right behind that goat's front shoulder. Great body posture, great body lean, and working with that goat. Again, commercial slash market, I want to see you pop those top up, whether you're getting down on her and scratching her belly or you're getting the knee into her. We want to make that goat look just a little bit better at the stand because I think on the move you do a really nice job. And then the young lady that rounds it out, I think does a really nice job with the front end of that animal. I just would like to see you not stretch her out quite so much. I know you're doing a really good job of getting some pop and some brace out of her, but I want you to bring her legs in a little bit closer. You almost get her too stretched out in a time or two, but I think a really nice job with a lot of the fundamentals. That's a great set of senior showmen. Please put your hands together and congratulate all of our seniors.
Congratulations to our senior exhibitors. Rounding out the top 5, our first exhibitor was Tanner Benko. Second place was Piper Fisher. Third was Colby Wilson. Third was Erica McWhorter. And fifth was Logan Holland. Again, our top 5 showmen will report to the backdrop for a picture. The top 5 of each age division will go to the backdrop after those classes. This is your last call for the intermediate age show division. Now entering the ring is our intermediate showmanship division, ages 9 to 13 years of age. Again, our judge is Mr. Phil Myers. Again, another quick reminder, our skill-a-thon is open in the ABGA office. This is taking place from 8 till noon today. Our public speaking competition for the junior and intermediate division will be on the east end of the shoot barn. The senior division will be in the parlor adjacent to the office of the east end of the shoot barn. So report to the sheep barn, the east end for the junior, intermediate, and senior division. Seniors will be held in the parlor. Meet goat evaluation participants, please get your record books into the office today. We want to give a big thank you to our ringside vendors, Clear Creek Farms, Lucky J Family Goats, Wildwood Farms, Shepherd Creek Ranch, and Stewart Show Goats, Paint Creek Show Goats, Susan and Frank Berger with Interstate Boar Goats Association, Breezy Acre Boar Goats, and Carlson's Pine Crest for the ringside banners. Also MM7 Mount Madonna Boar Goats, Dust Devil Ranch, and Clements Fitting and Photography, and Lucky Farmers. Thank you to those ringside banner sponsors. And in the ring right now is our intermediate showmanship division. This will be the second call for the junior showmanship division. You are now watching our intermediate division. These are participants 9 to 13 years of age as of June 19, 2021. Our show eligibility as follows. Exhibitors must be a current member of the Junior American Boar Goat Association to submit a show entry for the ABGA National Show. Goats must be registered and in the participant's name. No ranch or family name can be listed in the owner section of the certificate. If the ABGA owner has more than one entry in the class, other goats can be shown and must be shown by another junior ABGA member. Exhibitors entered in the showmanship classes must be the owner of the animal as required by the ABGA sanctioned rules. The animal must also be entered in the Junior ABGA or Junior ABGA Britain-owned show by the same exhibitor showing it in showmanship. Again, in the ring right now is our intermediate division, ages 9 to 13 years of age. Our live stream of this year's American Boar Goat Association National Show is brought to you by Backyard Green Films. This is being held at the Fonner Park here in Grand Island, Nebraska. Backyard Green Films is really excited to present the show and has some wonderful opportunities for advertising. 6-day show will be shown on the ABGA's YouTube channel and presented as a night sporting event. There is banner ads, commercial breaks, and interviews shown throughout the event. Basic advertising rates below will help support this exciting event. For those of you who have family members that may want to watch these Participants in the show have them tuned into Backyard Green Films, that is on the ABGA's YouTube channel. Junior ABGA National Invitation Sale will begin tomorrow. At 5 p.m. there is a sale preview video at 5 p.m. This is all provided on Go Promoter. At 7 p.m. on GoPromoter.com, the Junior ABGA National Invitation online sale will open. That sale will open at 7 p.m. It will close the following night on Tuesday the 14th at 7 p.m. is when the online sale will close and it will go into extended bidding on GoPromoter.com. That is for our Junior ABGA National Invitational Sale. Please tune in to GoPromoter.com to look over those consignments. sponsors include Crazy Tea Ranch, Blue Guinea Ranch, Cactus Boar Goats, KT Boar Goats, also K Hollow Boar Goats, and Fitzwater Aztec Farm. Third Creek Farm, LLC. The ringside banners sponsors include 2M Boar Goats Crew, SFAB Boar Goats, Westfall Boar Goats and Camp Goats, Fatal Acres, and Lucia Boar Goats, and 2MS Boar Goats, the Deputy Hawk family, and Holbrook Family Farm, and now more of our ringside banners. Thank you to those ringside banner sponsors. You are still watching the Intermediate Showmanship Division. Our presiding judge is Mr. Phil Myers.
Don't always make comments when we do a SIP, but I think it's important, particularly in this class, because in my mind it makes a significant difference here. I'm not big on telling people how they ought to show, what equipment they ought to use. I grew up in an era where you could show pigs with a can or a whip or a pipe or your hand or a brush. There's a lot of different ways to do things. And in the boar goat industry, we've gotten to the point where there's a whole bunch of different kinds of chains and leads that you can use. I would caution you, though, as I see in this class, there are several that have these really long chains with handles, and I will say that the further your hand gets away from the goat's head, the less control you have. And so that's just something to keep in mind. I also see some folks that are using the one-sided leads where it kind of comes out on the left side only. And so if you get a judge that asks you to walk on the other side of the goat, that becomes a problem. The other thing is when you're reaching across, and so as we're coming along the line here, you're on the left side of the goat, you've got that really long chain here, and for whatever reason you want to use your left hand, this gets pretty awkward to sidestep with a goat and reach across your body and hold on to it. It's not a natural look, and really that bothers me quite a bit, and maybe it shouldn't, but from a personal preference standpoint, I like to see you with that near hand closer to the goat's head. I want to see you walk down through there with a little bit more smoothness of motion, and I think our seniors did a really good job of that. I think here in our intermediate class, we've got a lot of folks that want to reach across with the far away hand to get to that goat. We've got a lot of these really long leads, and so I think that affects your ability to keep that goat's head placed where it should be when we're on the move. And so I would just say that if you're having some issues with control, or you feel like you don't quite keep that goat's head still as you're moving, maybe get a little different equipment, move that hand down closer to right behind the head, and just change it up a little bit, see how that makes you feel, see how you work with your goat that way. I think that's a big difference here. There's some showmen that do a really nice job at the stand, but they struggle with that on the move. We maybe don't do quite as good a job of keeping the head up on a couple of goats here in a couple of places with some young people that do other things really, really well. But I think that's another really outstanding class of intermediate showmen. Let's give these young folks a round of applause as those along the rail head back to the pin.
Congratulations to those intermediate participants. You are now watching the finals of the intermediate showmanship class. This will be the final call for the junior show participants. A big thank you goes to Newton Farms for sponsoring the coffee this morning. The coffee is ready in the office, but it will be outside entry only, so you'll have to go to the west side of the 5 Points Bank Arena to enter the office. The front part, the first 2 doors from the inside are closed, so if you need some coffee, sponsored by Newton Farms, please out and enter the office from the outside of the building on the west side of this pavilion. While you're inside grabbing a cup of coffee, please visit our ABGA store. All ABGA apparel and products are in there for purchase. So grab a cup of coffee, sponsored by Newton Farms, and purchase your ABGA apparel in the ABGA office, located on the west side of the 5 Points Bank Arena. You are watching the finals of the intermediate show division. The top 5 of each age division will go to the backdrop for a photography session. Girls Picks is here with the official. She is the official show photographer of the ABGA. Her booth is located in the sheep barn. If you would like additional photo ops done with Girls Picks, please go to the sheep barn, next building to the north, where that booth is set up.
What'd you say? Happy weather's a block here. Hey, yes.
So, when I heard the animation, I forgot to enable the alpha channel. That's on me. Should I just wait till the next event? Or just send me a note?
Another really good class, as I kind of alluded to when we made our step. Young folks at the top end of this class, I want to commend you because when you get into these big divisions, you can't come out here and hide and just hope that you don't make a mistake and win. That may work in some smaller classes, some smaller shows where you go out there and you just kind of go through the motions and you don't make any major mistakes and you end up winning the class. When you're at this level with this kind of competition, you have to come out here to win. And there's 5 or 6 of you out here in this class that came out here that I can tell came out to win. Young lady that wins this division, I think does so from start to finish with her consistency. She proves that you can show a weather band, a commercial bow type and not get into it and embrace it the entire time. I think she does a really good job of being conscientious about how that boat's top line is. She works that top line actively, pinching it a little bit when it gets high in its loin, making sure that she's got it stretched out enough but not too stretched out. I think she just does a really good job of showing that go, working with her partner consistently from start to finish, does a nice job both at the stand and on the move. Young man that comes in second here, consistency that we see in the young lady, maybe we don't see in him quite to the same extent, because most of the time, I really like how you've got that boat set up. You work the front end of her exceptionally well. You've got the head coming up out of the top of her shoulder. She leans into you. You're making it look pretty effortless to get her stuck, and I really appreciate that. The only problem I have is that a lot of instances where you maybe have gotten comfortable with her and then she's stretched out too much. And so she's not set up on the back end as well as she is on the front end. If we can more consistently get those rear feet evened up and set at the right distance, I think that becomes a closer top pair. Young lady that comes in third does an outstanding job getting that one stuck. Every time you look over and she's on the rail, she's got that one stuck with the 10 coming up. She's got a 75% brace out of it so that you see some pop and some muscle. Does an outstanding job at the stand. That goat wants to pull on her a little bit when we get him in motion. He doesn't want to keep it on the straight and narrow. He kind of wants to pull to the right and maybe not go as consistently on the move as some other goats in this class. But I want to get her up here in the top end, recognize her for the job that she does, especially on the stand. Young man that comes in next, I think does a really smooth, confident job from start to finish. We don't always get that goat lined up as square to the line and the folks around him as I would like to see it. You get a foot out of place every now and then. And so again, it's that consistency that I taught in this class. We've got to do the right things all the time and always get those feet out on the corner, but I think you do a really nice job, particularly at the stand. Young lady that comes in fifth here, she already knows what I'm going to say. Great job on the stand. We got to move a little bit better. And that goat let you down today. We'll put some distance in between here. He didn't want to go out on his alone. When we had him in line, he walked just fine, but you ask that goat to get out and move on his own, and he just kind of comes apart, doesn't want to cooperate. But I really want to compliment the young lady on doing a great job with that one at the stand, because she's another one that gets that head up and gets a nice, easy brace out of him to get some pop and some look and some muscle. Really good job out of her. The next two young people in line here, I think, fall into that category of maybe coming out here just trying not to make mistakes, because you were ones that I had to work a little bit harder to find in that SIP. I think once I got you out here, the longer the class goes, the more calm and smooth you get. You do a nice job, both of you do, on the move. Maybe not quite as consistent at the stand. There's a couple of those ahead of you, but I think doing a really nice job moving at the right kind of pace when we get them in motion. Young man that's got the big doe that comes here next, I think does a really nice job with her profile and her lines of her look. The problem is when I get to either end of her skeleton, I want to see those feet set out consistently wider. You have a tendency to want to get her a little bit too narrowed up on both ends. Want to see you set them just a little bit wider. The length and the stretch that you got on her is really good. We just got to get it a little bit more width at the ground. Young man that comes here next, young man I think does a really nice job with eye contact, body positioning. Want to see him get that doe's head up a little bit more consistently. I catch him with that doe kind of dropping a little bit every now and then. But a really good job on the move. And as I said, his body position was really good. And then the young man that rounds out the class here, as I told him personally, you did a really good job when we came in, getting lined up with your confidence and knowing that you should line up the way that you did. Your other two people came in behind you, kind of ditched you and headed to the rail. You stayed there, you got your goat set up. I think you do a really nice job with your body positioning. I think it's just more times in the ring and more experience. I think certainly you're going to get better and better, but did a lot of the fundamental things exceptionally well. Wanted to keep him out here in the top 10. Great job with the intermediates. Congratulations to all of them.
Congratulations again to those intermediate showmen. Our top 5 is as follows. 5th place was Boston Stapleton. 4th place was Kate Sanders. 3rd place was Harley Oswood. 2nd place goes to Lane Fitzwater. And 1st place goes to Tassie Fagley of the Intermediate Showmanship Division. And thank you again to our showmanship sponsors. Our backdrop, Humble, and Fonner sponsors. Make sure to tell your friends and relatives to tune in to the ABGA National Show on the ABGA's YouTube channel provided by Backyard Green Films. Once again, coffee is available in the office provided by Newton Farms. There is an outside west entrance entry only for coffee in the ABGA office. Pick up your ABGA apparel in the ABGA office. Entering the ring now will be the Junior Showmanship Division. Our junior participants will be ages 4 to 8 years of age as of June the 19th of 2021. Okay, now entering the ring is our junior showmanship contestants, ages 4 to 8 years of age, and the presiding judge is Phil Myers. Once again, the top five of each age division will go to the backdrop after the show. Our backdrop photo ops are provided by Bill Stick, our official show photographer of the 2022 ABGA. That booth is located in the sheet barn if you would like any individual photo opportunities for this year's 2022 ABGA show. You can do so at Pearl's Picks located in the sheet barn. I believe that booth is located on the west side of that pavilion. Another thank you goes out to our ringside banners, including SBC Ranch, Flying Hill Ranch Board Notes, Boards by Hobby, and the Lodi
Can you
Farms,
think of anything, Kim, I can bring you?
Land of Grace Farms, Red Brothers, in Northern Indiana, Blue Caney Ranch, Texas Board Goats, and KT Board Goats, Hilltop Boards, and Weatherall Farms, Advanced Board Genetics, Paradox, and Edgar Creek Ranch, Missouri Family Ranch, C&J Shoal Farms, Wiki's Rocket Board Goats, and Harmon Farms. Also the Culver Family Farm and Transportation Services LLC. Thank you to those ringside banner sponsors. Another reminder for those of you watching, the Junior ABGA auction will be held on GoPromoter.com. Junior ABGA National Invitation Sale Preview Video will start at 5. This will be tomorrow, June the 13th at 5 p.m. At 7 p.m., the Junior ABGA National Invitation Online Sale will open on GoPromoter.com. Stay tuned on GoPromoter until the closing of that auction, which will start at 7 p.m. Extended bidding will begin at 7 p.m. on that Junior ABGA National Invitation online sale. I believe there are 29 or 30 of those entries in that auction. So go to GoPromoter.com to look at the list of those entries in the Junior ABGA National Invitation Sale. Also on Wednesday, starting at 6:30, will be our ABGA and Junior ABGA Awards dinner, followed by the Junior ABGA live auction. At the conclusion of today's festivities, Sullivan Supply will be having a fitting demonstration. That will be after the conclusion of the show. You want to put that in your planner, plan about approximately 6 p.m. for the Sullivan Supply fitting demonstration. From 3 to 6 p.m. today, there is a Junior ABGA sales talk competition. Also from 8 a.m. till noon today, in the ABG office is the Junior ABGA Stillathon. That is open right now in the ABG office. Also, the public speaking program will be held in the Sheep Barn. Junior and intermediates will report to the east end of the building, as well as the seniors. The senior division will be held in the parlor on the east end of the Sheep Pavilion.
certainly at this age and level of experience, I want to have a great experience when we get out here. We're not going to work them around and put them through the ringer like we do with our senior and intermediate, because when we're talking about junior showmen, especially really young junior showmen, I want them to get out here, have a good experience, and be ready to come back next time. And I really think that all of these young people, they were bright, they were exuberant when I talked to them. I didn't ask them any questions and meant anything. I haven't asked questions all day. That's just kind of my MO. I want to see how you work with your animal, and then you can go answer questions in Skillathon and book interviews. I just wanted to talk to them and get them in the right frame of mind and talk about their goals and their shoes and their shirts and when did we get in? Are we having a good time? Are we nervous or excited? Just those kind of things, just to chit-chat a little bit and put everybody at ease. I really think our juniors did a tremendous job out here. There's a handful up here at the top end, and I think maybe been through the ring one or two more times, and really that's what it is. It's repetition. It's being able to handle the goat at home and then get out in the ring a few times. And there's so much improvement that's made between maybe the first time that we walk out in the ring with the goat and the fifth time. And so just getting out there and doing it, getting the experience is great in my mind. And I think all of our young folks did a really outstanding job. The young lady that's going to be our winner, I think probably does as good a job as anybody out here in terms of her body position and knowing where I'm at. And she's maybe done this a few more times. Does she always get the feet right? No. Does she always have the head right? No. But she does it as well as she can. She does it very good for this age level, and I think that she's got a lot of confidence and just works around that goat that probably outweighs her by 2 or 3 times without getting frustrated, without losing her cool, just calm and consistent, and does a really nice job of working with her animal to the best of her ability. Young man that comes in second here, I think again does a really calm, smooth job from start to finish. Maybe we'll work on our eye contact a little bit. I think it was so easy for him that he maybe kind of got that goat set and started looking around and seeing maybe what was for lunch. Because we're just maybe not quite as intense as our young lady that wins, but I think does a really nice job with the fundamentals of showing goats. Young lady that comes in third here, really nice job on the front end of that animal. Just got to work on getting her lined up a little bit quicker every now and then, but I think does a really nice job getting that goat's head up, getting the feet out on the corners. That's why she ends up here at the top end of this class. Young man in the blue shirt coming in next, really appreciate the job he did, and especially at the beginning, great intensity, great eye contact out of you. He did a really nice job of knowing where I'm at all times. We're just going to work on getting those feet set a little bit more consistently. Young lady that comes in next, I think again, great eye contact out of you. You always know where I am. We got to get that goat set up just a little bit more consistently, and that's going to get easier the more times you work with it, the longer that this goes. Just working on getting those feet out on the corners and that head up, but I think you do a really nice job. Young lady here that comes next, I think does a really nice job on the move with that goat. You really work smooth and calm with her all the way through. I really appreciate that. I like your intensity as well. Young man with the pineapple and sunglasses, I think does a really nice job of animal control and positioning himself around the animal. We got to get just a little bit more consistent with setting them up. A young person that comes next, again, I think working really hard, and I can tell there's a lot of intensity there. Once we get a good brace out of that goat, we'll just work on in the future getting a brace with all 4 feet on the ground and then feet out on the corners. But I can tell you have a lot of experience in knowing what you want to do. We just got to get more consistent in doing it. Young lady that comes next, really think she does a smooth job on the move. We maybe want to get that goat's head up and top down just a little bit more. And as we start to work on down through the line here, I think young people that have done a really nice job of getting out here, maintaining control of their animal, being calm and smooth, and in the future we just work on our foot set and our head up, but you guys did a really nice job. Congratulations to everybody in our junior class.
Congratulations again to the junior show exhibitors, ages 4 to 8 years of age. Fantastic group of future show exhibitors. Our junior showmanship, top 5 are as follows. In 5th place was Annabelle Kitchens. In 4th place was Camden Logan. 3rd place was Remington York. In 2nd place was Ellen Jacobson. And in 1st was Lydia Carpino. Again, great job to those junior showmanship exhibitors. Again, the scales are open for the junior goats 0 to 12 months of age. From 8 till 4 p.m. the scales will be open for the junior goats 0 to 12 months of age. At 1 p.m. we will resume with the market show and week goat evaluation to follow. Followed by that will be the commercial doe show. Again, from 3 to 6 p.m. today, there's a junior ABGA sales talk competition. And at the conclusion of today's shows at approximately 6 p.m. will be Sullivan's Supply Fitting Demonstration. Again, that is after the conclusion of the show. Once again, a big thank you goes out to Backyard Green Farms for being our national show provider on ABGA's YouTube channel. You can contact Backyard Green Farms for some wonderful opportunities as far as banner ads, commercial breaks, and interviews we've shown throughout that event. Please see the advertising rates if you would like to advertise on Backyard Green Films, our national show provider of the ABGA YouTube channel. 6 days to be shown on the ABGA YouTube channel. Once again, if you have not done show the meet goat evaluation participants, please turn your record books into the office prior to the show. The record book evaluation will begin directly after the show. For the meet goat evaluation participants, please turn in your record books to the office prior to the show. If any of the showmanship participants would like a photo op, please contact Pearl's Pics, the official show photographer of the ABGA. She is located in the sheep barn over on the west side of the sheep barn. For Pearl's Pics for a show, for a photo op with Pearl's Pics.
Become a member today and help us support this unique animal. American Goat Federation, representing all goat production. Become a member today and help us support this unique animal. Welcome to the 2022 American Boar Goat Association National Show from Fonner Park in Grand Island, Nebraska.
Hi, I'm AJ, and this is Stewart Museum. This is Stewart Museum's Railroad Town, a recreation of life in the 1890s, where I have grown up as a historical interpreter. This is the Silver Dollar, one of my favorite places in Railroad Town. Nothing beats a frozen pickle juice on a hot summer day. I may hold the record for most consumed in one day. This is where I had cherry pie at my nose at the Independence Day celebration. This is the Road Ranch, where I have grown up, showing people what life was like in the early 1860s with my family. As a living history apprentice, I have the opportunity to help with summer camps, help with special events, and help people understand history more. Come see me at Stewart Museum this summer.
Become a member today and help us support this unique animal.
My name is Chris, and this is Fonner Park. This is the parking lot where my dad left me to learn how to drive a standard transmission by myself. I dated a few girls that showed horses here at Fonner Park. This is where I watched thoroughbreds thunder around the track on my dad's shoulders. This is where I ate nachos and ran into people we knew. This is where my dad and I would come and collect our winnings. Getting a 50-cent piece was a thrill.
Racing. Perfect start at the outside.
Fonner Park, I got a lot of good memories here. Come and make some of your own.
The Agriculture Podcast, on a mission to share stories, dedication, and wisdom of America's stewards. Join us on a green adventure. Listen wherever you get your podcast. American Goat Federation, representing all goat production. Welcome to the 2022 American Boer Goat Association National Show from Fonner Park in Grand Island, Nebraska. Welcome to the 2022 American Boar Goat Association National Show from Fonner Park in Grand Island, Nebraska.
Hi, I'm AJ, and this is Steer Museum. This is Steer Museum's Railroad Town, a recreation of life in the 1890s, where I have grown up as a historical interpreter. This is the Silver Dollar, one of my favorite places in Railroad Town. Nothing beats a frozen pickle juice on a hot summer day. I may hold the record for most consumed in one day. This is where I had cherry pie at my nose at the Independence Day celebration. This is the Road Ranch, where I have grown up, showing people what life was like in the early 1860s with my family. As a living history apprentice, I have the opportunity to help with summer camps, help with special events, and help people understand history more. Come see me at Steer Museum this summer.
Become a member today and help us support this unique animal.
My name is Chris, and this is Fonner Park. This is the parking lot where my dad left me to learn how to drive a standard transmission by myself. I dated a few girls that showed horses here at Fonner Park. This is where I watched thoroughbreds thunder around the track on my dad's shoulders. This is where I ate nachos and ran into people we knew. This is where my dad and I would come and collect our winnings. Getting a 50-cent piece was a thrill.
Racing. Perfect start at the outside.
Fonner Park, I got a lot of good memories here. Come and make some of your own.
The Agriculture Podcast, on a mission to share stories, dedication, and wisdom of America's stewards. Join us on a green adventure. Listen wherever you get your podcast.
there's a delay. So that's total, and that's right now. That's the total. Yeah, that's the total unique viewers.